All right, these are the live visuals of Prime Minister Narendra Modi as he embarks from that airplane. He just landed in Surat. There is a massive road show that has been planned, 11-kilometer long road show. There he's being received by the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Prime Minister Modi, on a two-day tour to his home state of Gujarat. Remember, the elections in Gujarat, the state assembly elections in Gujarat, are expected by the end of this year, in November 2017, and the Prime Minister there already in the election mode. The BJP understands it is no other leader but the charisma, the image of the Prime Minister that can get them through. Remember, the Prime Minister, before he became the Prime Minister of India, was the Chief Minister of Gujarat for 3 consecutive terms. So a line of dignitaries there receiving the Prime Minister at the airstrip there in Surat. A huge road show. The entire city of Surat has been... Look at these visuals. These are the visuals outside that we are getting from the airport. Massive security arrangements and both the sides of the road filled with people. A huge rally of 11 kilometers from here to... This is the bike rally that I was talking about. Young men and women on motorbikes will be leading. All right, so after 2 days of hectic party activity in Odisha, the Prime Minister has now landed in Surat. These are the live visuals that we are getting. Massive preparations have been made by the BJP state unit in Surat, where the Prime Minister has just arrived. 40,000 BJP volunteers and young workers are going to lead a motorbike rally, which Prime Minister will then, of course, be following on this 11-kilometer roadshow to the Circuit House, where he will be meeting senior BJP state leaders. Remember, Gujarat goes to polls November 2017. You can see all these visuals of enthusiastic crowds there for the bike rally, and that's the convoy for the Prime Minister being prepared. Massive arrangements being made there in Surat. The entire city has been plastered with BJP flags, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's huge cutouts. People with their phones up, and that's the Prime Minister coming out of the airport, flying by Chief Minister of Gujarat. He's waving to the crowds there. All right, this is a mega roadshow of the Prime Minister, already in the poll mode as far as Gujarat is concerned. Sahil Joshi, senior editor, is now joining us live from Surat. Sahil, the Prime Minister has arrived. We can see these visuals of the BJP workers going completely crazy with enthusiasm. Take us through what is happening around you, the atmosphere there.
See, right now I am at the Kargil Square, which is one of the prominent square in Surat, and this was kind of an epicenter when the Patel agitation happened in Surat. As you can see here, the BJP workers have already gathered. If my camera can zoom out and show you that how many people have already gathered at this spot. There are such 20 spots across, and at various spots, various people have been gathered. Let us speak to some of the...
Lost that line with Sahil. We'll try and reconnect to him and get the voices on the ground. Sahil, at one of the points there, 20 such points in 11-kilometer long distance that the Prime Minister would be covering from the airport to the Circuit House, where he will be meeting the state BJP leaders. He will also take stock of the situation there, of the preparations. This is the escort vehicles of the Prime Minister's convoy. They're just ahead, the pilot vehicles, trying to ensure that everything is in order and the Prime Minister's convoy can be given a go-ahead to start from the airport. These bikers that you see are gathered in huge numbers. Women also there. About 40,000 is the number that what we have been told at this are the ones those who are participating in this bike rally. All right, Sahil Joshi, senior editor, back with us. Sahil, you were getting us some voices from the ground there. Please go ahead.
Yes, as I was mentioning, there are 20 spots across Surat, which was kind of an epicenter of the Patel agitation. The 20 spots included this Kargil Square, which is one of the prominent spots in Surat. You can see that as the thousands of people gathered here to welcome Narendra Modi, Surat is kind of a stronghold of BJP. Let's speak to some people and try to understand how much time they have been gathered here.
जो आ रहा है हमारे साथ नरेंद्र साहब मोदी, ये इतिहास के अंदर, पूरी इतिहास के अंदर, भारत के इतिहास के अंदर महापुरुष होगा. ऐसा महापुरुष कभी नहीं होगा.
Okay, ma'am, since how much time you have been waiting here to welcome the...
We are waiting here from two hours. We are too much excited to see the Modi. We love Modi. We believe in Modi.
As you could see that the whole area, this is 7-kilometer stretch, has been completely taken over by the hoardings of Narendra Modi. The BJP has made it a big event. You think that this is going to help in 2017 assembly elections, because that is what they are targeting? As you could see that the Patel...
Not related to elections, because everyone is believed in Modi.
I will request the cameraman because there are some able people who have gathered here on the stage, specifically brought from a nearby school. They are waiting.
Specifically brought from a nearby school. They are waiting to welcome the Prime Minister as well. I spoke to some of them before. They were brought here at around 1 hour before, and when they got to know that the Modi is now
counter the Patel agitation, the Surat Municipal Corporation has taken a lot of efforts to make the beautification of the Surat city. You can see here, it's all light, it's basically lightened up. The whole square is lightened up. You can see the lighting here on the Kargil Square. You can see that the Surat Municipal Corporation has spent quite 2 to 3 crore rupees on the beautification of the city, just to make sure that this event doesn't go fail. And that is the reason why the BJP is eyeing a lot on this particular event, because tomorrow the Prime Minister is going to inaugurate a hospital built by the Patidar Samaj, which was against the BJP 2 years before, and Modi is going to address the gathering of selected Patidar workers and people from the Patidar Samaj to ensure that the agitation doesn't go against them. Now we'll have to wait and see that in 2017, finally when the election will happen, how much this campaign will be successful in the city of Surat and across Gujarat, because it is expected
in the city of Surat and across Gujarat, because it is expected that every month Prime Minister is going to take at least a couple of programs in Gujarat.
Sahil, if you can hear me, you were getting us those voices, people extremely excited there. This is the home turf of the Prime Minister. Of course, the BJP doesn't want to lose or even, throw out an impression that the citadel of the Prime Minister is any sort of threat. But this roadshow, this massive roadshow that he's doing also signifies a fact, and that too in Surat, that there are certain worries as far as the BJP camp is concerned. It's not all good.
Absolutely. In fact, after the Patel agitation, whenever BJP President Amit Shah tried to address rallies in Surat, it had gone completely failed. The Patel agitation even happened against Amit Shah. So that is the reason why you can see that there is no other leader on the hoardings.
So that is the reason why you can see that there is no other leader on the hoardings here.
All his hoarding pictures are there, and all the local leaders of Gujarat. Now, there is something good for BJP. Municipal corporation election happened, the BJP swept the polls. So because of that, they do not have any fear that the Patel should go against them, because the Surat Municipal Corporation was important for BJP last year.
All right, we're trying to reconnect with Sahil. There is some audio problem there because of the jammers, we are being told, that have been put across this 11-kilometer stretch in Surat. These are the visuals, live visuals from the Surat airport. The Prime Minister just about to come out of the airport, and he will then, of course, be on his way and will join this massive roadshow that has been organized by the BJP. Sahil was making a very important point there. As of now, Surat, remember, was the epicenter of the Patidar community, the Patel community agitation. In fact, a lot of talk about how the BJP could lose the confidence of the Patel community, and that is why the man, the tallest leader for the BJP, the man from Gujarat, the Chief Minister, former Chief Minister of Gujarat, 3 times in a row, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is starting this rally in Gujarat, Surat. All right, let me go across to Editor Research India Today magazine, Ajit Jha, who is joining me on the phone line for more on this. Ajit, first of all, this entire roadshow, this very carefully crafted event of 11 kilometers, a 20 checkpoint sort of an event where BJP supporters on the bikes will be leading this roadshow of the Prime Minister. Talk us through about the significance of such a massive show of strength.
First of all, let's remember one thing. The roadshow is in Surat, right? Surat is not only the industrial capital of Gujarat, Surat also happens to be the city that the Prime Minister as Chief Minister had turned around after the plague. So that's a very, very important link Mr. Modi has with Surat. Number two, the fact that Surat has also turned out to be, after Modi left Gujarat and moved to Delhi, it has turned to be one of the biggest flashpoints, a center for the so-called Patidar agitation. And that has turned Gujarat, which used to be a pocket borrow for the BJP during Mr. Modi's regime, to now one of the biggest challenges which we will see the election during in December of this year. So I think this roadshow is orchestrated for 2 reasons. One, that everyone in the BJP is aware that if anyone can turn around the state after 3 terms of anti-incumbency and ensure that the BJP wins in Gujarat, it is Mr. Modi. So I think that is a very important message. And the fact that because he's the Prime Minister doesn't mean he has left the state. And number 2, as I said, since it is such a big, serious challenge for the BJP, because of the long agitation going on, because of the Patidars, led by Patel. So therefore, I think Hardik Patel, that it is very important that the Prime Minister does this roadshow, that it brings back the message that the state, that the Patidar community, and that the others are as important for BJP. Ajit,
just stay on with me. We are being joined on the phone line by Mr. Arjun Modwaria. He is the Congress leader there in Gujarat. Mr. Modwaria, thank you so much for speaking to India Today. It's a massive show of strength by the BJP. The Prime Minister, their tallest leader, right at the epicenter of what many were calling possibly the beginning of the descent against the BJP in Gujarat. How do you see this? Do you see that the Prime Minister's magic would be able to win back whatever loss they have made in Surat?
The BJP have experienced very badly before 3 months back, when the felicitation ceremony of the newly elected Chief Minister Vijay Rupani and the newly elected Pradesh Adhyaksh Waghani, in presence of Amit Shah, the people of Surat, and particularly Patidar community, revolted against them. And Amit Shah was, the protected behind this, the barbed wire fence. And even though they all have to leave the stage within a couple of minutes only. But this time the Prime Minister held the roadshow. You know, in Indian political history, no prime minister have, you know, during normal time, they held such type of the roadshow. The prime minister was mandated to implement their election promises, which they made during the 2014 election campaign. But instead of, you know, implementing this election promises, they are diverting the issues by making your roadshow in Odisha.
Arjun Molvaria, you know, I take your point, what you're saying, but can I also ask you this? The BJP, which is the ruling party in Gujarat for the last 3 terms, the Prime Minister, possibly their tallest leader, there have been a lot of discontent within the BJP state unit and so forth. This is the best time for the Congress to script a comeback in the state, which you have not been able to win for the last 15 years. It still seems that the BJP is proactive. The Prime Minister is putting in his best. This roadshow, you may say whatever about it, but he is ensuring that it is the biggest talk of the town as far as Surat is concerned. Where is Congress? What are you doing on ground? Aren't you worried that with such massive shows, he's going to once again steal away whatever anti-incumbency we can see on the ground?
You know, have you ever you know, heard that roadshow have been held by the Prime Minister, level of the leader of the Prime Minister, and during any past events? This is the first time they are, you know, they taking a roadshow instead of, you know, meeting the people, because they have a fear. Number 2, I am correcting yourself that the Congress is not winning since last 15 years. Year back, there was a local body election in Gujarat. 2/3 district panchayat and 2/3 taluka panchayat seats we won. We formed the bodies in the all local bodies, and BJP have been almost wiped out from every district. This is a ground reality. They are celebrating UP over here, but not celebrating victory in Gujarat, because they lost every election. So in last 2 years, they lost the ground. That is why they are, you know, making such gimmicks, because they have no issue to deliver.
But we don't see that. We don't see that urgency as far as the Congress is concerned. It's a very important state. Why isn't that the senior leaders of the Congress at the center, maybe Rahul Gandhi, other senior faces already in the state, putting in that effort, they taking out these road shows, meeting people, doing sabhas? Isn't it the Congress possibly is, you know, always you wake up at the last moment just before the election, look at the BJP, they know that there is anti-incumbency, they are already working on it, they have already thrown in the Prime Minister, their biggest leader. You may be right that this has never happened, but they do realize that, and that's why the Prime Minister is there on the ground.
You know, the Prime Minister is only taking a roadshow. What they promised to the Gujarat during 2015, you know, they are not delivering single promises. When the Narendra Modi was Chief Minister over here, they presented 164, you know, the issues of the Gujarat to the central government, and not a single issue, you know, have they.
So when will we see your senior leaders on the turf of Gujarat?
You know, we are here to take up the issue. It is, you know, the Gujarat election. We would take up the issue, and whenever required, you know, the national leader, respected Sonia Gandhi ji and respected Rahul ji would come definitely. But this is a Gujarat election, not a, you know, state national election. So we would take it up, and we have already taken it up, and we have defeated BJP over ground before 1 year. That is the issue. That is why Modi is coming, you know, every time and taking such type of gimmick. It's not befitting to the Prime Minister to have a roadshow in his own state, you know. Instead of that, to tell people that, look, we have done, in three years, we have done these works for the people of the Gujarat. They have nothing to say.
All right, Mr. Arjun Molvaria, thank you so much for speaking to us. You may say that it is not befitting of the Prime Minister, but one thing is clear, the hunger of the BJP and the Prime Minister to win the elections as of now seems to be many, many folds more than the Congress, and that's why he's pulling out all stops and ensuring that is exactly the result that they want is on after the assembly elections. These are the visuals of the Prime Minister coming in live from Gujarat's Surat. The Prime Minister is standing. In fact, this is a specially modified SUV in which the Prime Minister is standing. He's of the sunroof, sort of an arrangement that has been done, and he is waving to the crowd. Let me quickly cut across to senior editor Sahil Joshi on the ground. Sahil, take us through what's happening around you. Sahil, can you hear me? Sahil, can you hear me? Okay, it seems that we have lost that line with Sahil. Remember, there are a lot of jammers that have been put in place, security measures. But these are the, as I told you, these are the live visuals that we are getting in from Surat, the city that Prime Minister Modi during his chief ministership claimed he transformed completely. This is also the city where this was the epicenter of the Patidar Patel agitation against Prashant Jha, associate editor of Hindustan Times, is joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking to us here, sir. First of all, this massive roadshow, I was just speaking to Arjun Modvadia of the Congress, and he's saying that it shows desperation on the part of the BJP. But on the flip side, it also shows that the BJP is already in the poll gear. They have brought out their biggest gun to ensure that there is no slip up.
No, absolutely. You know, I think it's a mistake if Congress sees this as desperation. We know what happened at the end of the UP elections when Prime Minister Modi spent 3 days in Banaras. Congress and lots of critics said that this was desperation, but it only showed that the BJP is a party and Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah, leaders, were willing to give everything to every election. These are leaders who are investing energy in MCD elections in Delhi. Amit Shah yesterday said that from Panchayat to Parliament, every state must be ruled by BJP. So these are ruthlessly ambitious leaders. And I think that has to be taken into account. The day of the Banaras election, both Prime Minister Modi and Amit Shah were in Somnath. They had kicked off the election campaign then or even before that. This is the Prime Minister's third visit to Gujarat this year alone. So, and Gujarat is obviously very important to him and to the party. They cannot afford a setback there. Despite the Patidar agitation, I think BJP is still looking as the party with the edge in Gujarat, and they will campaign hard and they will campaign ferociously. And if Congress thinks that just labeling it desperation without doing anything to counter it will help them, they are not going to really succeed.
You know, Prashant, as you know, just taking forward this point, BJP is the party to beat in Gujarat despite all 3 years of three terms of successive ruling in government, anti-incumbency, the Patidar agitation. But the hunger, as far as the Prime Minister, as far as the party is concerned, to win every election, they go all out. The energy, they go out with all this energy, they plan ahead. And the Congress or the opposition parties usually are seen caught napping. They just jump into the last time right before the elections. Why don't we see the same effort maybe from a Rahul Gandhi, for whom this election should also be a very important election after successive defeats?
No, I think that's precisely the problem of the opposition. Right now, BJP knows that it's been in power in Gujarat for a long time. Every election is a tough election. This time, the social coalition that used to bring BJP to power in Gujarat, which included the Patels, that social coalition has fractured a little bit. BJP knows it has to work hard on the Patels to win back at least a section of the Patels, which moved away from them during the agitation. And we see that energy, as you said, being displayed by the leadership of the party at all levels. The problem with the Congress is precisely this. One, it leaves elections for the last 2 months. Elections are now fought, you have to plan in advance for elections. And that's what the BJP is doing. The second is there is no clear leadership of the Congress in Gujarat. You have an Ahmed Patel faction. He has been dominant in Gujarat Congress. You have Shankar Singh Waghela, who wants to be declared as the chief ministerial candidate. All these different factions are lobbying in Delhi to be projected as the CM candidate. We don't even know whether Congress will project anybody as the CM face. Congress is also a party that faces baggage. You know, it has not done well in urban Gujarat in the last 3 elections. It has not done anything to revive its organization. So, and Rahul Gandhi should be focused completely on Gujarat and Himachal, and for next year, Karnataka. Again, a state where Congress is looking very vulnerable, one of the few states where it is in power, but power may slip out. And then the elections that will happen at the end of next year on Madhya Pradesh, again, a state where they don't have a CM face. Rajasthan, where they suffered a by-election, defeated them just last week. So there are, you know, the Congress is staring at electoral defeat after electoral defeat over the next year. And we don't see the kind of introspection that is needed by Rahul Gandhi in particular to tackle this.
Prashant, I request you to stay on with me. Ajit Jha, the editor research of the India Today magazine, is also with us. Ajit, you concur with what with Prashant is saying. It seems that the Congress, despite such electoral defeats, the hunger within the top party leadership, the issues to be sorted out, that seems to be lacking somewhere. And possibly that is exactly why the BJP has taken on the entire country as the dominant party, which Congress used to be at one point of time. Look at these visuals. Prime Minister already, it seems like election is tomorrow. He's in election rally already.
Absolutely. You know, the comparison between Congress and BJP when it comes to Gujarat is like the comparison between the former ambassador car and the Ferrari. You know, BJP speed, the fact that it defines the agenda even when it is facing a massive anti-incumbency and a partidar agitation, is simply unparalleled. The Congress party, on the other hand, appears as if it is rudderless, leaderless, directionless, agendaless. It's just not able to define the agenda like opposition parties in the past used to do in India. So that is the problem. It is still in that old ruling party mode without being a ruling party. So, you know, the roles of and the Congress outside power, a party which doesn't know how to revive itself. It needs a new leader. It needs clarity on the leadership. It needs to reinvent itself in terms of a new formula for elections. They are just not able to compete with the BJP's, you know, campaign, which is completely on a blitzkrieg with the Prime Minister as a, you know, as the biggest hero of Gujarat. Okay. And at the same time, the party totally united under the Prime Minister. Whereas think of Congress, it's an opposition, and yet the party is completely divided between various factions. So yeah, I mean, it's really a comparison between a Ferrari and a former ambassador.
All right. All right. Before, I just wanted to go to Prashant for a quick question. But before I do that, let me also bring in editor Sahil Joshi, who is on the ground there in Surat. Sahil, if you can hear me, I would like to just come to you to get us a sense of this massive roadshow that the Prime Minister is doing. You are right there. There are so many people around you. What's the atmosphere?
Until if my camera can show you the massiveness of this show of strength. It's a road show on the bike. There are 20,000 bikes expected here, and as you can see that the road show here, it's a massive road show. You can see in the end, from there the road show has started. We could see that different bikers were being called here, and that is the reason why the BJP has been preparing it. Because we knew that this is going to be the ultimate show of strength, because this is finally they are going to use in 2022 elections. And that is the reason why they want to address the partisan command, because Surat was kind of a representative of the whole agitation. When I had come here 2 years before, the whole area where right now I'm standing was completely painted with stones. There were incidences of fire, there were incidences of rioting. The police was on the ground. Even today the police was on the ground, but this time it was for the completely different reason altogether. You can actually see in the camera, that the 20,000 bikers are now coming towards the circuit house.
Okay.
Behind that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the...
Sahil will try and come back to you. We still are getting some audio disturbances there. Prashant Jha, Associate Editor of Hindustan Times, still with us. Prashant, if I can come to you for a quick question. The kind of statues, the almost 600 cutouts of Prime Minister Modi, the entire city being lined up with the BJP, flags there. And very interestingly, among all this, there are women in burqa that have been put, all across this entire convoy of 11 kilometers. So the symbolism, the message is being sent all across to all sections there in Gujarat.
I agree with you. I think, BJP wanted to project power. It wanted to show that, all the speculation that the Patidar agitation and the change. Remember, this is a state where for 15 years there was one chief minister, for 12 plus years, and then over the last 3 years they've had to change their chief minister. Anandiben was removed and Vijay Rupani was brought in. So there was instability. There was also a sense that after Modi left for Delhi, the administration was not able to live up to the standards that he had set. So remember, this is the context in which the Prime Minister is doing this roadshow, and he is doing this roadshow to tell Gujarat, look, I am still here. I am still. This election is still my election, and he is sending a message to the rest of the state and to the rest of the country that BJP's power and influence and support base on the ground remains intact. And so I think in that sense it is quite significant.
Ajit, just taking on from what Prashant, in fact, is saying, we also know that the BJP is going to fight the Gujarat election as being their face. They will not project a chief minister despite having a sitting chief minister there. They had to change from Anandiben to Vijay Rupani now. But they are going to fight this election in the name of the Prime Minister, as possibly has been the model in various states. So this also shows that the BJP does understand that possibly the local leadership would not be able to deliver, and that is why they need the Prime Minister once again in this election as well, after, as it has been the case election after election, to deliver it for the BJP.
Absolutely. See, the biggest problem with the BJP in Gujarat is the Patidar agitation, and the fact that they could not yet elect or select a Patidar leader as the chief minister is something that is still hurting them. Now, the Prime Minister is beyond the community. He has a pan-India sort of image. He turned around the state in the past as a chief minister. He turned around the state. He turned around Surat. So he has a larger-than-life image in a way, So they need him to win that state after 15 years of anti-incumbency. And what is very important, what you pointed out, that they have, for instance, lots of sort of minority women lined on the streets. See, that is a very important issue. The way the Prime Minister has played up triple talaq and has managed to sort of, enter the community, the Aqliyat votes, for example, we saw that in UP, because at one time it was considered that the minority votes are totally alienated from the BJP. So the Prime Minister doesn't leave any stone unturned, even though the Muslim vote in Gujarat is only 8%, but half that vote is women voters. So it's very, very important, the symbolic importance of minority women lining up.
Ajit, I request you to stay on. Ajit, I request you to stay on with me. Let me just get a reaction from Mr. Jamal Vyas. He is the spokesperson of the Gujarat state BJP. So thank you so much for speaking to India Today. My first question to you, I was just speaking to Arjun Modwadia, and they see this massive roadshow of the Prime Minister as desperation of the BJP. They are saying there is so much anti-incumbency, the state leadership of the BJP will not be able to deliver. That's why they have got the Prime Minister here.
See, the Prime Minister has been visiting Gujarat regularly over the last 8 months, and it's nothing new. His popularity is at its peak. It is more than what it was in May 2014 when he was elected as PM. And you can see from television reports. I mean, you can see the visuals, and imagine this is all. I mean, the popularity is unprecedented. Even we have not seen the kind of crowd frenzy that is there today. So it's really, in fact, I would feel that today's Prime Minister's program has seen a surge in his popularity.
Mr. Vyas, but this also, I mean, the kind of well-crafted roadshow that you have done, it's not that Prime Ministers never used to visit various states, but the Prime Minister is utilizing this also as an opportunity possibly to already start the campaign for 2019 Gujarat polls. Is that how you see it? Has the BJP already started the poll campaign for the 2017 Gujarat polls with the Prime Minister's roadshow?
No, we at Gujarat BJP are always ready eventuality, and we are continuously having programs. And not only the Prime Minister, the central ministers from Gujarat and the Gujarat Deputy Chief Minister and others, They are continuously touring the state and starting new projects, inaugurating new projects. Development is a continuous process in Gujarat. And the Prime Minister also will be inaugurating or starting 20 projects in his 1.5 days tour. I think the continuous process of development which started in 2001.
Yes, Mr. Vyas, I would also like to understand from you. Yes, you're talking about the continuous development there in Gujarat. Surat also saw the massive Patidar agitation. How worried are you about the Patel community? And also, doesn't it reflect that the state unit of the BJP, maybe the Chief Minister or the other senior leaders, have not been able to gather the same kind of reaction, the same kind of support that possibly the Prime Minister has, and he's your last alternative, your only alternative, because Amit Shah recently faced a lot of agitation from the Patidar community when he tried to do his rallies there in Gujarat?
Actually, that was a very small event, and that was long back, I think September 2016. But apart from that, of course, the Prime Minister is the tallest leader in BJP and in India today. So, I mean, we cannot dispute that. No other leader in Gujarat can match him in popularity or in public perception. But at the same time, to answer the first part of the question, the Patidars have never been against the Gujarat government or Gujarat BJP. I think that agitation which took place around 2015 August was more a kind of surge in unemployment, the problem of unemployment, which this government has resolved in a big way. I think there 1.5 lakh.
Mr. Jamal Vyas, I will just request you to hold on, sir. We are also being joined by Mr. Jairanarayan Vyas, senior leader of the BJP, senior spokesperson of the BJP, on the phone line. Mr. Vyas, if I can come to you, Mr. Jairanarayan Vyas, if I can come to you, sir. There is a lot of talk about why this massive roadshow has been crafted in Surat. Number one, the BJP is worried about the Patidars and the support that they get from the Patel community, and the Prime Minister possibly the only leader who can see them through.
Let me at the outset tell you that this is not the first of its kind of a roadshow for Mr. Narendra Modi in Surat. As a Chief Minister of the state also, several times he had visited Surat, and every time his visit has attracted large crowds. So to say that this is because of a particular fear from a particular segment of an agitation in wake of the forthcoming elections in itself doesn't hold much water. He is popular, no doubt. He is one of our most popular leaders. He is a person who has given Gujarat a very dynamic and progressive administration for over a decade, and therefore it is but natural that the crowds would throng to receive him, especially when he is visiting the city as a Prime Minister after a considerable long time.
Okay. Mr. Vyas, I request you to stay on, sir. Manish Doshi of the Congress is also joining us. Mr. Doshi, you heard Mr. Jairanarayan Vyas. He's saying that there is no denying that the Prime Minister is the tallest leader of the BJP all across the country. And of course, he has served as the Chief Minister of Gujarat. And it is the love of the people that you are witnessing on the streets of Surat. No desperation there, or not even an attempt there, just to try and implicate the Patidar community. How do you react to this?
सबसे पहले तो गुजरात में प्रधानमंत्री का स्वागत है, क्योंकि ये देश के प्रधानमंत्री है। पर जिस तरीके से पूरे माहौल में सरकारी मशीनरी और सबको मिला के ये भाजपा की जो झंडा बंडा सब मिला के लग रहा है और भाजपा का कार्यक्रम है, ऐसा दिख रहा है, तो मैं मानता हूं कि भाजपा को कुछ न कुछ डर है भाजपा के खेमे में। और गुजरात में जहां तक सवाल है, पिछले कई वर्षों से, चाहे शिक्षा में हो, चाहे शिक्षा इतनी महंगी है, रोजगार बहुत बड़ी समस्या है और लोगों को स्थानिक रोजगार नहीं मिल रही है। दूसरी तरफ लोगों की परेशानी, किसानों को जो मिलना चाहिए वो मिल नहीं रहा है, कि किसानों को मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस नहीं मिल रहा है, वो सब बात मिला के है।
ये सवाल ले लेते हैं, एक बार व्यास साहब से सवाल ले लेते हैं। मिस्टर Jairanarayan Vyas, if you are still with me, sir, you heard the Congress leader. They are saying that it seems that the BJP is scared. That is why they are in the poll mode already, and they had to get the Prime Minister early on.
Understand one thing, they had the most opportune time because the budget session of the assembly was it has just been concluded.
You know, if there are so many things which Mr. Manish Doshi is trying to now place before, what were they doing during the budget session? Not a single time in the State Assembly they had any kind of an impressive show as even a worth opposition which could project the issues which are related with the people. So I think this is a desperate Congress which has seen the defeat in the wake of the elections they are coming, and they have no other arguments except repeating those arguments which do not stand any ground in not only in Gujarat, nowhere else in the country.
मिस्टर दोषी, आपने सुना भी जयराम व्यास साहब को, वो कह रहे हैं कि डेस्परेट हैं आप लोग, क्योंकि अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर, अगर मान लीजिए चुनाव की तैयारी मान भी लें इसको, तो बीजेपी तो बहुत पहले से सोचकर चुनाव की तैयारी कर रही है। आपके बड़े नेता कहां सो रहे हैं सर? गुजरात तो बहुत जरूरी होना चाहिए आपके लिए, क्यों राहुल गांधी सड़क पे नहीं दिखाई पड़ रहे गुजरात में?
नहीं, मैं आपको बता दूं, यही बात मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्या गुजरात में कोई भाजपा के पास अपने स्थानीय कक्षा, राज्य कक्षा का कोई नेता नहीं है? गुजरात में जहां तक सवाल है, कांग्रेस तो चुनाव कब की कह रही है कि चुनाव आ रही, क्योंकि भाजपा की अंदरूनी गुटपनी मुझे इसमें नहीं पढ़ना है। विजय भाई और नितिन भाई का क्या है, जीतू भाई जूनियर है और इसके वो दूसरा पार्टी में क्या है, मेरे को इसमें भी नहीं पढ़ना है। मेरे को व्यास साहब को इतना कहना है आपके माध्यम से कि व्यास साहब, गुजरात में जिस तरीके से विधानसभा सत्र में भाजपा अपनी बहुमति के जोर पे, अपने ज्यादा सदस्यों के होके अपनी बहुमति के जोर पे लोकतंत्र का गला घोट रही है, जितने दिन का सत्र चला, जिस तरीके से लोगों को किया गया, किस तरीके से नलिया कांड, दुष्कर्म कांड में किस हालात में आपने रख दिया,
दोषी साहब
में जिस तरीके महिलाओं का सम्मान का सवाल है, जिस तरीके महिलाओं की सुरक्षा का सवाल है, जिस तरीके गुजरात में महंगी शिक्षा है, मैं नहीं कह रहा हूँ, खुद सरकार।
अच्छा ये बताइए दोषी साहब, मैं व्यास साहब से एक रिएक्शन लूंगा इस पे, उससे पहले मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रहा था, कहीं ना कहीं ये देख के आपको कुछ ना कुछ तो डर लगेगा ही। प्राइम मिनिस्टर के इस तरह के बड़े रोड शो यूपी में भी हुए, उसका रिजल्ट आपने देखा चुनाव में, तो क्या आपको लगता नहीं है कि कांग्रेस की जो सीनियर लीडरशिप है उसको भी अब उतर जाना चाहिए इस पूरे चुनाव में? अब पूरा जोर लगा देना चाहिए इसमें, आपकी लीडरशिप चाहे कितनी स्ट्रांग या वीक हो गुजरात में, अब कांग्रेस के लिए गुजरात से जरूरी कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए? वो दिख नहीं रही वो भूख।
तो आपको मैं बता दूं, सबसे पहले गुजरात में 14 महीने पहले चुनाव हुआ, तो इस जिला पंचायत 147 से ज्यादा जिला तालुका पंचायत में कांग्रेस 76% एरिया में जीती। अभी 5 दिन पहले रिजल्ट आया 15 नगर पालिका का बाई इलेक्शन का, 4 सीट भाजपा के प्रदेश अध्यक्ष के एरिया में थी, कांग्रेस के 515 में से एक ही थी नगर पालिका की सीट। फिर भी कांग्रेस ने और 5 सीट जीती, और 4 में से जो भाजपा के अध्यक्ष के एरिया में है, और 4 में से 3 सीट कांग्रेस जीती। अच्छा, भाजपा के अध्यक्ष के विस्तार में से हमने एपीएमसी की 8 बैठक जीती, जो भाजपा का अध्यक्ष प्रतिनिधित्व करता है। कांग्रेस के लिए कांग्रेस लोगों के बीच में जा रही है, हम सरकारी मशीनरी का दुरुपयोग नहीं कर रहे।
It seems that the Congress's argument is solely based on the fact that possibly you have not been able to inculcate or cultivate the kind of local leadership that possibly would have the confidence to fight the election on their own. Is the BJP going to fight the Gujarat election under the leadership of the Prime Minister on his face, or you will also project a Chief Minister?
देखिए, हम चाहेंगे कि जिस तरह के ख्यालों में कांग्रेस अभी रत है और जिस तरह के ख्याली पुलाव पककर वो खुश हो रही है, वो होती रहे, क्योंकि इसके पास इसके अलावा कुछ है भी नहीं। कांग्रेस तो लीडर्स के नाम पे एक नाम भी ऐसा नहीं बता सकती जो सर्वसम्मति से कांग्रेस में स्वीकृत है। गुजरात की बात छोड़िए, कांग्रेस में सर्वस्वीकृत लीडर किसको गिनोगे आप? भरत सिंह सोलंकी को गिनोगे, शंकर सिंह जी को गिनोगे, सिद्धार्थ पटेल को गिनोगे, शक्ति सिंह जी को गिनोगे, अर्जुन मोढवाडिया जी को गिनोगे, किसको गिनोगे? जिस पक्ष के पास जिनके सीनियर लीडर्स अभी कहीं ना कहीं वहां से छोड़कर कांग्रेस को भाजपा में आने की तलाश में जुटे हुए हैं, उनके पास तो नाम के वक्त से भी एक लीडर नहीं है। तो ठीक है, उनको खुश होने दो, हम भी खुश है, कांग्रेस खुश रहे, मनीष जी खुश रहे, युवा है, इनके सामने बहुत आगे की राजनीति के लिए करियर है। 15-20 साल के बाद कांग्रेस शायद रिवाइव हो भी जाए, उनको प्रयत्न करने में कोई बुरा नहीं है, लगे रहो।
व्यास साहब, कांग्रेस को आपने सलाह तो दे दी है। आई जस्ट वांटेड टू आस्क यू डिड नॉट रिप्लाई टू माय क्वेश्चन। Is the BJP going to fight 2017 Gujarat on the face of the Prime Minister, or you are going to project a chief minister, possibly the sitting chief minister?
See, my party president has already declared that the election will be fought under the leadership of the present president of the state and the present chief minister. They will be leading the election. Now, who will be our star campaigners? That is not necessarily that Mr. Prime Minister or state national president. They are popular leaders, and obviously they will be one of the stars who will be kind of campaigning for BJP. But basically, the election will be fought under the leadership of the Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable President of the state BJP.
मनीष दोशी जी वो बता रहे हैं आपको कि हमारे पास बड़े स्टार कैंपेनर तो प्रधानमंत्री हैं, उनसे ज़्यादा तो पॉपुलर कोई है ही नहीं, और लेकिन चुनाव जो लड़ेंगे वो चीफ मिनिस्टर और स्टेट यूनिट के जो प्रेसिडेंट हैं उनके नेतृत्व में लड़ा जाएगा। आपका तय हो गया है कि कौन बनेगा मुख्यमंत्री या किसकी लीडरशिप में लड़ेंगे?
कांग्रेस की जो चुनाव की रणनीति है, कांग्रेस की चिंता और सलाह मशवरा जयनारायण भाई को मेरा नम्र निवेदन है कि पहले ये तो तय कर ले विजय भाई और नितिन भाई का क्या हालत है, जीतू भाई और तलसुख भाई का क्या है, दिखू भाई तलसानिया का क्या है। अब मुझे इसमें नहीं पढ़ना है।
सर वो बीजेपी तय करेगी, मैं तो आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ, आपका तय हो गया है क्या?
नहीं, हमारा तो कांग्रेस लड़ेगी, टीम कांग्रेस पे लड़ेगी, कांग्रेस का पंजा होगा, हमारी टीम कांग्रेस लड़ेगी। रही बात मैं आनंदीबेन और अमित भाई का भी कहना चाहता हूँ, हम नहीं कहते हैं, वही लोग कह रहे हैं। हमको तो इतना व्यास साहब को बहुत सम्मान के साथ कहना है कि आपने जवाब नहीं दिया, क्योंकि गुजरात में जिस तरीके से हालात बनाई है वो भाजपा की देने, चाहे बेरोजगारी की समस्या हो, चाहे महंगा शिक्षा की हो, पीने का पानी का हो, चाहे किसानों को खेत में पानी की बात हो, किसानों को एमएसपी की बात हो।
मनीष दोशी, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू स्टे ऑन, हमारे साथ बने रहिए। वी आर आल्सो बीइंग जॉइंड बाय अर्जुन मोटवाडिया वंस अगेन। थैंक यू सो मच मिस्टर मोटवाडिया फॉर कमिंग बैक। मिस्टर जयनारायण व्यास ऑफ द बीजेपी आल्सो विद अस, एंड वी आर आल्सो बीइंग जॉइंड इन द फोन लाइन by Mr. Rakesh Sinha, RSS ideologue. Sir, Mr. Sinha, let me start with you, then I'll quickly jump into Mr. Moodwadia, and then we'll get a reaction from Mr. Vyas. Mr. Sinha, you know, the opposition is saying that the BJP and the Prime Minister always seem to be in the campaign mode. Do you take it as a compliment or do you take it as a criticism?
No, I think they are giving a wrong interpretation. Narendra Modi ji is the first Prime Minister who is connecting with the people, and he is in constant touch with the people, not merely through social media, but also this is an organic relationship with the people. Prime Minister is not the person who should always is confined to this South Bloc. He must be in contact with the people, and I am giving example. Pandit Nehru was the Prime Minister who was also always connected with the people. But Modi ji has created a history and also established a parameter that despite all the security hazards, he is going among the people. He is remaining as a part of the people. You have seen it after UP election in Delhi. Now you are seeing the Gujarat. So I think this is a good trend that politics should not be a politics of elitism. It should be a politics of masses.
All right, let me just go to Arjun Moodwadia on this, and before I go, I would like to point out those visuals that you saw on your screens. Entire Surat city has been plastered with huge cutouts of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Arjun Moodwadia, Jayanaran Vyas abhi thodi der pehle bol rahe the. He was saying that the Congress is in disarray. They don't know under whose leadership they are going to fight the election, and this roadshow of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to give them nightmares because the BJP possibly they have already unleashed their star campaigner.
You know, the BJP have, tested Surat before 3 months back. At that time, the national president Amit Shah was in Surat to felicitate the newly elected chief minister Vijay Rupani and their newly elected state president Waghani. And they, the Surat people have, teach them lesson, and they have to, to create barricade between people, their workers, and the stage. Now, there was a barricade. It's the first time in the history of the, not only in the state, but all over the India, to protect their leaders, they have to barricade by the wire fencing between stage and the audience. And the people were so revolted against the leadership that the Amit Shah have to, they finish his lecture within a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And they have to run away from the behind the scenes. That was their experience. That is why.
But the point is that that was 3 months back. We are talking about today, and it seems that there is a lot of support that the Prime Minister enjoys. Zafar Sarishwala is also joining us on the phone line. Mr. Sarishwala, first of all, the Congress calls it a desperate move. How do you see it?
No, absolutely not. I mean, see, this is Mr. Modi's popularity is there. In fact, now his popularity is much more than what it was if you take 2012 election and 2014. 2012 Gujarat election, 2014 the Lok Sabha election. So his popularity has gone much notches ahead than what it was. So this is the reflection of that. And I think Congress party should accept that. I mean, they need to accept. Unless and until you don't accept.
Zafar Sarishwala, I would also like to ask you about the symbolism of this roadshow. On both sides of the road, there were women in burqa that were lined up among other, supporters of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister today also spoke about triple talaq. Do you also see that as an outreach to the Muslim community, possibly, which the opposition keeps saying that the BJP is trying to marginalize?
Look, if you remember, see the 2012 election in Gujarat, where Mr. Modi came, he won the election for the third time. That was the time when 32% of the Muslims voted for Mr. Modi. So actually, this is a long back. I mean, in the first, 2011, when Mr. Modi came out with that, first show, that program, which was called, where everybody was invited, and that became the front for the whole election. In that meeting itself, there were several Muslims. So Muslims had already accepted Mr. Modi in 2012 and 2014 election, and even in UP election now, at least 15% Muslims have voted. So that's gone. I mean, that is gone. They have gone beyond this.
Thank you.
Symbolism.
All right, I'm completely out of time as of now, but we're slipping into a very short break. I thank all my guests. We are hoping that we'll reconnect with all of them just after a short break. Coming back, these are live visuals from Surat, 11-kilometer long road show of the Prime Minister in his home turf, Surat in Gujarat. We're coming back with much more perspective, and live coverage of this continues on India Today.